Hey, my name is Jose, and I am one of your HIV Stops With Me spokesmodels for year 2025. And I'm here with the question of the month for September of 2025. First and foremost, I hope you're doing well wherever you're finding yourself watching this video. And here's the question: how has living out loud by being so public with your HIV status benefited and or harmed your life? So I am going to first talk about the benefits, right? So being that this is my, as you can see back here, the first year here, Staying Alive campaign, and the year, and then you have the CEO of my life for this year, which is my year 2. In these past 2 years, I would say I have learned so much about how I can utilize my voice and look more inwards rather than outwards, and concerned about what other people really think. Now, to kind of in contrast to the benefit of that, I did live for a long time. I would say roughly my first 5 to 7 years living with HIV, I didn't feel so comfortable, rather sharing with just those that I really trusted and I cared about. So, mind you, I lived a lot with this severe anxiety of like who, like, depending on who it was that found out, like, would they be keeping my information safe, or stuff like that. So that's the kind of stuff that would happen, and I would ask myself many times, like, was I selfish for keeping the information to away from certain people? So, and that also brought a lot of anxiety and all these other emotions and feelings. So if you catch yourself listening to what I'm saying and you too can relate, just know it does get better. It has gotten better for me. Being a spokesmodel for this campaign has definitely given me the ability to feel like my voice matters to some degree. Also finding that there are other people, especially in this campaign, and that have a voice, right? And that we try to use it to our best of our abilities to kind of make some movement. Before coming into the campaign, though, I was a part of a lot of support groups. So when I lived in California, especially there is where I went to some support groups that were in my neighborhood. And there we just, it's like you meet a lot of other people, and people that didn't really seem like me, didn't really think like me, but it was like pain understands pain, right? So that's how it was for me. Like, people would share about their status, their diagnoses, different events, and all of them are just there to get the help and assistance that you can possibly get. Another thing is that it helps to build community. I think I mentioned that a little bit ago. I knew that the community was already big, and not only does it cater to people of being in the LGBT community, but I realized that there are so many other there's diversity in it. There's a lot of communities that get affected by it. You don't have to be someone that looks like me. You can be a woman, you can be Asian, you can be white, you can be black, you can be any orientation, right? And any kind of ethnicity. So, like, with that, the harm that it brought, like, first I do want to put a little bit of emphasis on self-harm. When a person is learning about their status, it immediately comes with the stigma, right? The life expectancy. You immediately think that, okay, I have HIV, now that's going to turn into AIDS, and eventually I'm going to die, right? So HIV is definitely not what it used to be. So if you catch yourself learning about this and watching this video, just know that there are so much information. If you go to the website, hivstopswithme.org, or you can simply search other information, but there's sufficient information that you can find yourself utilizing, and you will understand that it does get better in time. Time takes time, definitely. I didn't expect myself to live for more than 10 years, and that's what really helped me. When I made it up that hurdle, I learned that by changing the way I was living, because it's not healthy to just be overexposing myself, hypersexualizing myself, using drugs in the ways that I used to use. And today I choose not to consume any kind of substances at this time. I don't know what the future will hold for me, but I know that the tools that I have today assist me to know that I live a better life today, and that I will continue to live this life as long as I can. It's helped me to keep my numbers very high, and by numbers I mean my CD4s, my T cells, and remaining undetectable. Remaining undetectable is very important, because I get to keep myself as healthy as possible, and I can potentially keep all my sexual partners safe also. And this question really opens up to a lot of things. I first thought that I looked at this question as like very black and white, and I was actually just going to answer like, how does this benefit me? But in reality, I first came into understanding my status as an HIV positive Latino man, right, as something that can be detrimental at first, but then it can also be, like, as the true optimist that I am, that it can be such a positive thing. And so by being a spokesmodel for this campaign, and being an advocate, and being the person I am today, has definitely provided me a whole new spectrum of things. I no longer want to just wallow in my sadness and just rot, because before that's kind of what it was. I thought that, again, I'm gonna go back to the life expectancy. I just thought that I was going to have to die and not have any hope. And life definitely changes. Life definitely changes once you get into that area of acceptance, and just really looking at everything that you don't have to be fearful. Even with the climate that we're living in today, like, the medication is still available. I take a medication once a day, and that still keeps me undetectable, and it makes sense for me still. I choose to keep my circle very small, and even though I do record these videos for you folks, I still know very very small people, and people may know me and might be watching these videos, and they might know another version of me, right? But this is pretty much what you get, and I will continue to be exactly this. So I challenge you to look inwards, because that's what helped me. Definitely to understand what works for me, what works for my HIV, and what and how I can go into my doctor's office and present certain questions, if not find it on the websites, like hivstopswithme.org, or just visiting, just be very mindful of what you're visiting and what you're opening, because not every article is accurate. Information and knowledge is power, but you can also put yourself into a scare, and that's exactly not the right place to be in. So thank you for listening today, and I encourage you to watch all the other spokesmodels. I strongly encourage you to keep doing the best you can in your life, whatever that looks like for you. If you can get a smile on your face and be okay with that, then that's enough. We don't have to be rich. We don't have to be, dating the best looking person in the world. Self-love starts with you. If you can look in the mirror and be okay with that. I say that because I'm definitely going through some changes, not to get too personal, but I am going through some changes, and even though life can definitely take me to a negative place, I remember how far I've come, and that there's still much more work to do for myself, and that there's still more hope that I can give out to other people. So, yeah, thanks for listening, and I will definitely be back and see you. Well, you'll be seeing me next month. All right, much love. Bye.